Trump has been getting really, really, really sassy with reporters lately. Really, really sassy.
And what do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
She'll probably go after people like you because you treat me.
Obviously, it's terrifying and deeply undemocratic. It is, however, also unfortunately extremely funny. Jesus Christ. Immediate. Okay, you know what this tells me, by the way? He's pissed off with Pam Bondi as well. Pam Bondi consistently has been a detriment to this administration. She talks a big game in her whingy pussy voice and then does nothing. She doesn't aura farm. She's not good at leading a narrative. My bet is that this took place after she let out that whinging tweet, the one from 7:30 a.m., and he's irritated now that he has to like defend the position that hate speech is bad, which is not, again, this isn't a rhetorical position that Republicans want to be in for obvious reasons.
So unfairly, it's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe they'll come after ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech, so maybe they'll have to go after you. Look, we want everything to be fair.
This did, of course, not happen, but
it hasn't been fair, and the radical left has done tremendous damage to the country, but we're fixing it. We have right now the hottest country anywhere in the world, and remember, 1 year ago, our country was dead, and now Washington, D.C. is fixed, and I fixed it. The mayor was fine. The mayor was just fine, okay? The mayor had the sick city for many years. He's been mayor for many years. The one that fixed it was me and my people, and it is so safe. You should take your beautiful wife tonight and have dinner down there. You won't be shot. You won't be accosted. You won't even be looked at incorrectly by anybody. Washington, D.C. is safe. Now we're going to Memphis, where it's pretty rough, to put it mildly. And then we're going to have to go. A friend of mine who is a...
Yeah, they switched. They just overnight, they decided this, by the way. Overnight, they switched from Chicago to Memphis, presumably because Chicago would be a really hard target, and they don't legally have the ability to control the police over in Chicago. And in Memphis, you know, the local government's a lot more cooperative. It's because of Pritzker. It's a variety of factors, but yeah, Pritzker was 100% a part of it. Yeah. What the f is a Memphis? I don't know either. I've never been there. What state? Tennessee. Memphis is not deep red. I mean, no big cities are deep red, but it's definitely a lot more cooperative with them. Yeah, a place in Egypt. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Nobody has ever done on the border like I've done.
Mr. President, what will you tell President Zelensky if you meet with him in New York?
Well, he's going to have to get going and make a deal. He's going to have to make a deal. Zelensky's going to have to make a deal. And Europe has to stop buying oil from Russia. Okay? You know, they talk.
There are a lot of people who are super mad about this. Remember that Trump very openly courted the, like, Vatnik, Russophile, Vladimir Putin is defending the West against Western degeneracy stuff when he was campaigning. And then after talking to Putin for 5 minutes, that all changed, you know?
But they have to stop buying oil from Russia.
Tulsi Gabbard is in this administration. And coincidentally, you haven't heard much from her lately, huh? You haven't, have you? Where's she at? I mean, if anything, you'd think she'd be more present right now. Director of Intelligence. I mean, you would expect that she would be more more involved with everything Kash Patel is up to, but no, she's just chilling, hoping nobody remembers she's there.
Regarded to be the wealthiest man who's ever occupied the White House. How much wealthier are you now than when you returned to the White House?
He said, "How much wealthier are you now than when you returned to the White House?" Because he's Australian.
Well, I don't know the deals I made for the most part, other than what my kids are doing. You know, they're running my business. But most of the deals that I've made were made before. And that's what I've done for a life. I built buildings. Like I'm building a building here. You know where I built? You know what? You see that area? Yeah. That is going to be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. And for 150, so it gives me pleasure to do it for the country. And I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. The country's not, and that's an expensive ballroom.
But is it appropriate?
I think it'll cost $250 million, and it will be, I think, the finest ballroom. So for 150 years, John, do you know this?
It's so funny he skipped Charlie Kirk's vigil. It really, really is. You can tell how broken up he is over Charlie Kirk's passing. The ballroom seems to be the only thing he actually cares about right now. Like, Chicago's fallen through. You know, they're not getting the outcomes they want there. Didn't the State Department fall through recently? Fucking Homeland Security's fallen through. There's a bunch of projects they've been juggling. Alligator Alcatraz, other camps that they were intent on building. The rate of deportations has slowed considerably because they've run out of, like, easy gets because they would show up at court appointments and yank people who were attending them legally. Right now, like, all of these big projects, they're all kind of stalling or falling apart a little bit. So I think he's just really, really intent on this ballroom.
They've wanted a ballroom, and now they're going to finally have it, and it's going to knock your socks off.
But is it appropriate, President Trump, that a president in office should be engaged in so much business activity?
Well, I'm really not. My kids are running the business. I'm here. You know what the activity, where are you from?
I'm from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, Four Corners program.
Well, the Australians, you're hurting Australia, right? In my opinion, you are hurting Australia very much right now. And they want to get along with me. You know, your leader is coming over to see me very soon. I'm going to tell him about you. You said a very...
Oh my God. He's such a petty little mobster, you know? Oh my God.
Bad tone.
Well,
go ahead, John.
Okay, when the UAE does a deal like
you can set a nicer
when the UAE does a deal, what does it want in return?
Quiet.
Mr. President, what are you hearing about the...
I'm not gonna lie, Doug. I have not been this unafraid of the administration since day one of it. Right now, we're at the absolute nadir. I can't believe it. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. An easy Reichstag moment if ever they were to take advantage of one. And what have they done? Pam Bondi right now is floundering like a fish over her Karen-ass hate speech appeal, which is so unpopular even with the right that Trump got angry and defensive when it was brought up to him. Remember in the last clip we saw, the reporter literally said, how do you feel about what Pam Bondi said about hate speech not being free speech? I thought you disagreed with that. And he was like, shut up! Shut up, you I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Because you're so full of hate! What about trans Latino people, though? They're kind of... Don't you compartmentalize on me. We're all Americans here. Yeah, lots of people are getting over by the administration. I'm just saying that, like, they are demonstrating over and over and over and over again that they are nowhere near as capable of or willing to do the bad stuff they've talked about as it would, as it would seem. In the long run, the most dangerous institution is the Supreme Court for all the insane shit they're legitimizing. Apart from that, didn't Marco Rubio's effort to, like, get people ousted from the country over criticizing Israel fail recently? Didn't that just happen? There was some, like, legal... Is this it? Wait, Brian Mast was the one who revoked it? What? GOP rep backtracks on bill that could let Marco Rubio revoke passports from Israel critics. He revoked support? This freak? The guy who showed up to Congress in an IDF uniform? The legless wonder? This guy revoked support for the provision that would have allowed Marco Rubio to deport people? Isn't he a crazy Zionist? He's the crazy Zionist. He's like the second craziest Zionist in Congress. Who's the really fat guy? Is it Randy Fine I'm thinking of? That greasy ass Peter Griffin, that disgusting piece of shit? Fetterman? No, Randy Fine is way more disgusting than Fetterman. I really do find the pride flag ban thing in DC scary. He literally called it a domestic terror symbol. It feels like a new step up the fascist ladder. Oh, they've been saying that for a while. Link to story and last message. Link to story and last message? What do you choose your own adventuring, your own comments? Just link it again. Making me do work. Said he'd consider banning LGBTQ plus pride flags in alarming Oval Office exchange. He legally can't do this. There's no water. Again, banning it, that's law. Law means judges. No shot this goes through judges. Not happening. He'll say anything. These people are such pussies, dude. Oh yeah, this one. I saw this. Wait. We'll finish this segment off with this one because it's so funny. Hold on.
And one more question, if I could. A lot of these...
This is from yesterday, I believe.
recent of these trans shooters that we've seen over the last couple incidents.
Millions and millions.
This flag right here is up and down 14th Street. This is what would be the
I mean, I don't think the rule of law is holding anymore. I disagree, actually. I disagree. Still, the Trump administration is losing consistently in court cases, you know? Like, basically 95% of the shit he's gotten away with has been, like, overzealous executive orders and judges being really slow to slap them down. But when it comes to something like banning a flag, that's like every court in the country would immediately go after that. It wouldn't be enforceable. I don't know. They're just so dickless, man. The Trump admin is overwhelmingly not willing to take the level of risk needed to get over the law barrier. Remember how, like, 6 months ago, there was a period of time where it really seemed like there was going to be a standoff between the president and the judicial system? Remember? All the judges were like, we're going to keep issuing injunctions. And the Trump was like, well, we'll get your ass then. We'll get you fired, you know? We'll impeach you. How many judges have been impeached? Didn't happen. The Supreme Court poured a little bit of cool water on it with the whole federal injunction, relitigation, but it doesn't really change the fact that the courts are not backing Trump. And the Trump administration is more or less backed off of attacking the courts. Like, let's be real here, okay? If they wanted to, they could make judges comply. The federal government, at least the executive branch, could just directly threaten judges. No going on TV and waving their hands and being like, we'll look into you or whatever. Just directly threaten them or remove them. And they're not doing it. Why? Because that would your balls would have to be on the table. Your balls would have to be on the table. Because that would be interpreted rightfully as like a treasonous act of war against the country itself. And that might motivate a whole bunch of counteraction. I think they just like yapping, man. Especially Trump.
Trans flag. A lot of people are very threatened by this flag. It means a lot of different negative things to people, violence. Would you be opposed to taking this flag down, up and down the streets of DC?
Well, I wouldn't be. Then they'll sue and they'll get freedom of speech stuff, you know, so that'll happen. But I would have...
They'll sue and they'll get freedom of speech stuff.
No problem with it. I will say, and Steve might just mention this, Todd, you might mention it too, because we're putting out an order. You know, freedom of speech means you can burn the American flag, which I think is horrible. But I noticed something.
Which is true, by the way. Trump's executive action saying otherwise is fake. It's still protected speech to burn the American flag.
Over the last little while, you know, as you do this, you start noticing things that you wouldn't normally think. It really causes unrest and violence when they burn American flag. So the American flag, I wanted anybody burns the American flag, go to jail based on freedom of speech, goes to jail immediately. But the freedom of speech protected them, right? And so, and that's been argued a couple of times. And you know, it's one of those things. But you know what? Hasn't been argued, and we're going to be arguing it, I think, very soon. And that's the violence. They incite violence. So when I saw it just yesterday, they burned the American flag, and people that were there were fine. And all of a sudden, they're going crazy, and there's fist fights. It wasn't in Memphis either. But I will say, it incites violence. And I think you just do the exact same thing.
That's violence. Burning a flag equals violence. Well, they say that, but like, again, I feel like if they really wanted to put their nuts on the table, they would just say, we disagree. Burning a flag is the crime. But instead, the executive order basically said, if you burn a flag, the Department of Justice is going to look extra super close at you burning the flag to make sure that you weren't like trespassing during it. And if you were trespassing during it, then you're going to get like in trouble, you know? They can't actually make the flag burning itself a crime. It's just a memo to the DOJ. Yeah, I don't know. I know I've been repeating this point a lot lately, but I believe in it very strongly. And also I feel to a certain extent that, how do I put this without sounding cynical? I feel like I have a little bit of a monopoly on this coverage right now. I don't think a lot of other people are really on this level, this like liberal fascism, over-satiation of rhetoric bit. I think I want to plant my feet down here, okay? Because I think the world's going to catch up to me pretty soon. And I want to get my name stamped on it, okay? I'm trying to plant the flag a little bit. I mean this shit. I believe it. The problem we're dealing with in the long run, again, isn't even them. It's just the broader cultural decay and climate change. The broader cultural decay that makes it impossible for them. Like the forces that are preventing them from killing all of us are the same forces that will prevent us from getting universal health care. I think you're wrong, though. The action will catch up to the rhetoric. I totally disagree. Completely disagree. I think that the rhetoric is dangerous in and of itself. I don't think we should refrain from taking it seriously, but I think that not only will the action not catch up to the rhetoric, they're not even interested in the action. A lot of them are only interested in the rhetoric.
Don't use freedom of speech. Use the incitement of violence. I mean, it's really, you got to see, these people were going at it. Yeah. And, you know, you could burn other things and people just sit there, they fall asleep. You burn the American flag, and on both sides, but the level of violence I saw this flag burning cause was incredible. It was an incitement. So I hope you guys are going to be...
Doesn't the rhetoric normalize the decay? Yes.
Able to do that, Pam, right?
Well, there's also groups called Trans-Tifa. So perhaps if you can label them a domestic terrorist group, then you can, in all reality, you could take that flag down because it would represent the Trans-Tifa.
I think you probably could. Again, you'll be sued, and it's okay. I've been sued before a couple of times, you may have seen. Anyway.
Compelling stuff. Truly compelling stuff. Is Miller one of the only ones who wants the action? Well, hey, listen, maybe Miller only wants the action because he's on the backbench. Like, White House deputy chief of staff, like, maybe if he was in the position of AG, he would start pussy posting as well. Maybe he wouldn't, you know, he wouldn't be able to follow up with it. Like, you know, Miller thinks of himself as some kind of, like, aristocratic genius who's meant to lead other people to dangerous action. You don't think that Miller would really be willing to risk his own life. Hitler was in the trenches in World War I. Like, we're talking about a combination. Pol Pot lived through, like, 50 famines, you know? It's, you run into that issue again with, like, you need to combine the hate with the willingness to put the nuts on the table.